true triple katana is too overpowered. It's literally what people are saying on YouTube and in my comments, but is this even true? We're gonna find out right now with an official Blox Fruit Bandits breakdown. And of course, I've got some secrets to share with you about how that crazy AoE tornado keeps killing you, and even more importantly, how you can turn the tables on your tornado spamming friend. We focus purely on the PvP aspects of Blox Fruit, so watch a different video on how to actually get TTK. This channel is all about getting into the nitty-gritty, the deep details, the nerd. So let's go. If you fought against TTK, you know the most annoying move is that insanely strong projectile tornado that takes up half of the screen and shreds your dodges. The rework has brought some new life into so many swords, and TTK is no exception. Let's jump right into the pros and cons. Overall, TTK has some really strong pros. Great combo starters and extenders, very little end lag on moves, massive hitbox on X, and the ability to absolutely delete all of your dodges with the X tornado. Cons wise, there are a few issues, like the Z being completely avoidable with Ken, shorter range on the Z with a hitbox that's actually honest, which is a first for these breakdowns, and technically an escape window on X that I'm really excited to dive into the details on. You can use this sword with any fruit really, since the combo potential is really solid. We'll use Portal and Kitsune for this showcase, but remember, we don't focus on fruit specific tech, but tech that you can apply to any fighting style or fruit, so learn the concept, not the combo, if you want to be a good player. Remember, the new enchantments, the numbers are all subject to change, so just be mindful of the base cooldowns, and they can differ by anywhere from plus or minus 2 to 3 seconds. With that in mind, let's get it. Now before we dive into any of the moves, let's quickly talk about the M1. I know, a Blox Fruit Bandit's first for a sword. The fourth slash of the M1 actually sends very far compared to other swords. You can use this with dash jump to get some extra movement that you normally wouldn't. I've used this a bit to close the distance if I'm using a less mobile fruit, or even to throw off your opponent with a nice dodge of one of their moves. It's not groundbreaking, but it's worth mentioning. Okay, let's jump into TTKZ. TTKZ is a dash that serves as a solid combo starter or extender as well. Base cooldown of 9 seconds. You dash forward and slice the opponent a few times. This sets up great for a follow-up move. The range is the most honest I've seen of any sword, meaning it's exactly what it looks like visually. The hitbox of the move is large, but the problem with the move is not only can you dodge it with Ken, but it's also Ken triggable if you do get hit, meaning press the E button invalidates this move completely. This move does hit after Godhuman C, but it's a fairly precise hitbox to chain this successfully. Remember though, that since this move can be dodged with Ken, a good player will try to Ken trick this move after Godhuman C, so be mindful of that. I think using this move after Godhuman C is great, but don't get too predictable with it, because then your opponent will catch on and Ken trick. The best way to use this sword is to combo either from a stun move, or even catch a dashing opponent with their instinct down. Defense wise, this move is easy to dodge, either with instinct or with a Ken trick. It's definitely worth it to Ken trick the move, otherwise you'll be eating a combo for sure afterwards. It's got a short cooldown though, so be mindful that it'll be up again soon. Super quick recap on the defenses. Get ready to dodge if you see them pull out TTK and their X is on cooldown. If you get hit, Ken trick and you should be fine. Plus, keep an eye on your dodges, since this next move is the Dodge Drainer, the Instinct Eliminator, the Observation Obliterator. We're talking about TTKX. TTKX sends a dragon projectile that scoops you up, drags you to the destination, and once there, the dragon bites, and it spawns a large tornado that sucks you towards the center and directly upwards from there. This move has a base cooldown of 14 seconds. Each part of this move has a different property, so let's go over it. The projectile that's sent out is extremely strong. The dragon projectile overall has a huge hitbox that on a direct hit breaks instinct and drags you to the location of where the user's mouse cursor was. You can use this in neutral to try to catch your opponent dashing, since they'll be dragged with the move. Defense wise, you can't Ken trick a direct hit, so save your Ken trick after the bite. Technically, if they're close and your instinct is on, you can Ken trick this, but it will drain up to 6 dodges, and as soon as you let go of the Ken trick early, technically you still still take damage and get moved. Just be mindful of that. Once the dragon bites, a tornado is spawned, which pulls anyone in the area towards the center of the tornado. Hitting the center of the tornado sends you upwards. Offense-wise, you can flash step and TTKX straight down, but you miss out on the strongest part of the move, which is the projectile, but it could still be worth it. As they're getting sent towards the center of the tornado, this becomes an excellent combo starter though, because you can aim your move at the center of the tornado where they'll end up being anyway. As they get sent upwards, they always go the same distance upwards at the same speed, so you can jump up and continue a combo from there by aiming where they will be. Additionally, if you throw this move at your feet, the opponent will be sent super predictably up above you, so very easy to extend a combo with any move from here like God Human Z. I called this out in the Portal glitch video, but there's a glitch with Portal X right now, where if you go into Portal X and tap TTKX before Portal X ends, you see it on your screen, but your opponent doesn't see anything or even hear anything. I do not encourage this though, because it's unfair and probably unintended. However, hopefully it's patched by the time you watch this, but just know it was not patched when this video was made. Defense wise, you need to Kentrick as the tornado spawns. It will eat a ton of your dodges, but it delays the knockout. And here it is. This is your secret Blox Fruit Bandits tip. Two things here. Number one, if you can the move, it will drain your dodges, so you don't want to lose all your dodges, but you can press E after moving for a little bit and it'll send you upwards wherever you are. You'll still take damage, but you can almost use it as movement to get away from your opponent. Plus, it's unpredictable by your opponent, so they can't successfully follow up on TTK's strongest move. You're in control here. You press E whenever you're ready to be sent up. Secondly, if you do Kentrick this move, your opponent will be rushing towards you to try to combo. You can catch them with a follow-up range move, and even better, surprise them with a flash step and close range move like God Human Z. Just be careful though, because if you God Human Z without being close, the instinct gets broken for some reason. Even so, there's potential to destroy your unsuspecting opponent, so use this Blox Fruit Bandits tip to turn your opponent's smile and bounty upside down. Quick recap on the defenses. Save your Ken for after the tornado spawns, and if you Kentrick, punish them as they approach. Let's talk about enchantments. As a gun main, Strong Grip has been very solid. TTK does a great job at starting a combo with both moves, so I like the extra damage. If you prefer shorter cooldowns, you could go in Real here as a Blox or gun main, but remember you're sacrificing 2000 damage for like 2.8 seconds of cooldown reduction on X at the most, so it's kind of up to you to see if it's worth it. As a sword main though, Sharpshooter has been nerfed, so in my opinion 10% damage for 20% longer cooldowns, just not worth it when you can go Masterpiece for 5% damage buff, but is only 5% less, and an 8% cooldown reduction. Blessing wise, I like C or Frozen. Both of these do a good job in 1v1 to either reduce their health regen to basically 0 or reduce their movement speed by a lot. That way, if they do Kentrick, if they rely on dashing to get out of your move, it'll be much harder for them to get away. If you're a sword main though, Burning does a decent chunk of extra damage. TTK is an insane combo starter or extender, so I encourage you to get creative with your own combos. But here's 4 combos to hold you over if you're not feeling that creative. I got 2 God Human combos for you. God Human C into TTKZ, into God Human X, into God Human Z upwards, into TTKX for the kill. Next one, Flash Step TTKX into God Human X and Z where they'll be, right into God Human C straight upwards into TTKZ for the kill. Now for Sanguine Art, which I really like, TTKX and then Sanguine Z where they will be, into Sanguine C straight up, into Sanguine X, and then TTKZ for the kill. For the last combo, shout out to X-Steam for this one. X-Steam actually helped me out creating this combo with Kitsune, so huge thanks to X-Steam. God Human C into TTKZ, into Kitsune F, into God Human X, straight into God Human Z upwards, into Kitsune C and X, into TTKX, and then Kitsune Z if they're not dead. Now let's get into some PvP. We're trying something a bit different. Let's do a best of 5, kind of like the Kitsune video, but this time Frog doesn't go his ice build. First 2 rounds were on Frog server. We're sitting at about 250 millisecond ping, and we're getting some FPS delays. This is going to be rough. But what's even worse is we did a few with God Human, and I lost the footage. So we're going to go with Sanguine. So wish me luck. Let's get it. Round 1. Remember, this is all about learning your opponent's habits. We don't have to win. We need to learn their habits. I fought Ice a ton of times, but Frog's going to use it a little bit differently. I open up with Kabucha moves to deny the middle space so I can dash to either side. He uses his Sword X to Soul Guitar, but he misses. I try to catch him with TTKX, but I don't have any luck here. He misses his Ice V, so I punish with a ranged Kabucha Z and kind of poke him with it. I go into Portal X since he's camping in Ice V, but I barely miss the Sanguine Z and TTKZ. We poke each other a little bit and he dodges my TTKX pretty nicely. It's a poke battle right now, as anytime I try to approach, he backs off to wait for Ice V, which makes it pretty tough. I try to catch him with Sanguine C, but he dash dances, so I miss the prediction. I keep trying to apply pressure with TTKX, but the lags delay my TTKZ, so nothing is hitting at all. He's back to aggression now that his cooldowns are back, and pops Soul Guitar X and Ice V, but somehow I don't get hit because of lag. Thank the lag gods. But I know he doesn't have Cyborg for 30 seconds, which is nice. He stops to type, because that made no sense, so I'm going to let him reset neutral. I'm not going to take advantage of that, but I missed everything this round. And he kind of does too, which is good for me. I use Kabucha to take up space, but he misses his Ice V. And of course, I mistakenly dash forward just enough for him to catch me. He gets me in the combo, but I time my Ken in lag, which is crazy, even though he has